Johnson should never put another IU uniform after that punk move that he put on. That was bad. And everybody's going to say, oh, he didn't do anything. Yeah, he did. That was a garbage play. He reached underneath the guy's shorts and grabbed his package. That was a terrible, terrible play. I mean, I don't even know where to go. That was embarrassing tonight because Rutgers stinks. They're awful.
They're awful. Well, they hadn't won
The real question in this game is what should happen to a Xavier Johnson. Let's get into the Rutgers game. Thank you for joining me on Indiana Sports Connection. Let's get right into it.
Watford 3 on the way. Oh!
Well, the Indiana Hoosiers went to Jersey Mike's Arena in Piscataway, New Jersey, and just looked absolutely out of sorts, like a team that just didn't really want to win the game the entire game. I mean, it's just unbelievable that we watch this Indiana team go out there day after day after day, and they don't realize the smallest things that are needed to execute to win the game. Offensive rebounding and all rebounding. We got absolutely destroyed. 18 turnovers. You're never going to win with 18 turnovers. Beyond that, 4 of 14 on free throws. Never going to win with that. I mean, all of these things just really point to you lose to a shitty Rutgers team because of that. A team that going into this game, you're going out there to Rutgers, you're ranked 90th, they're ranked 91 in KenPom rankings, and I'm sitting there thinking Rutgers is 8-6. You know, Indiana's I think 11-3 or 11-4. There's no way I looked at Rutgers games. Indiana should be able to go out there, play some disciplined basketball, and get the W. But apparently, that is impossible to do for this team. It is just so tough to watch, and it's so tough to watch because they have the exact same problems on the road now, week after week after week. It's the stupidest things. Nobody on this team blocks out. Nobody on this team does any of the little things. One other thing, does anybody on this team know how to throw a bounce pass? I mean, have you heard of a bounce pass? Okay, Anthony Walker on this play right here. What are you thinking? Like, the guy is right there.
Rebound vacuumed in by Walker. Nearly threw it away. He did. Mag ahead of the pack. Showtime. Mag.
You throw the ball right into his back. These are the kinds of plays we made all day long, and it's absolutely abysmal. Come on, IU. Like, who are these guys? And this, I'm not even bringing up Xavier Johnson yet, who, in my opinion, screw this guy. I'm sorry. I am so pissed off at what has happened to this team. We bring all these young guys in, all these young guys that we're trying to develop. But our main leadership on this team is a guy who's going to punch somebody in the nuts. I mean, you're going to freaking punch a guy right in the dick in the middle of a game and almost look like you. I mean, I don't know who wants to hold on in that situation, but it's almost like he held on. This guy, he needs to be suspended for 3 games or kicked off the team. I am sorry. This is not some 19-year-old kid, which I made tons of mistakes. I'm not going to sit here. I made tons of mistakes when I was 18, 19 years old. I had 2 DUIs when I was 18 years old. But I sit here and look at this guy who's 24 years old playing for Indiana Hoosiers basketball team, and that he's going to pull off some type of Bush League bullshit like he did in this game and get kicked out of the game with 13 minutes left in the second half. We're better off without him. That's all there is to it. Mike Woodson, I don't know, and I said this like a few episodes ago. All I would ask, guys, do you want to play at Indiana or not? That's it. Like, look at Wisconsin. They're ranked 15th. And who are they getting? They're not getting all these 4 and 5 star recruits like we're getting. No, they're not. They're getting guys that are going to play their system. And that's what Purdue's doing. That's what all the other good Big Ten teams are doing. I don't know why we're so just discombobulated at Indiana that we can't find a good mix. We're always going after these top recruits, and we end up with top recruits that are just we're so scared they're going to go somewhere else. You know what I would do? I would just go to guys and I would just say, do you want to play at Indiana? I'll tell you, there's guys on the radio that are on this local radio show, and they're talking about Caleb First that plays at Purdue because some of his playing time's been cut down a little bit. And maybe this is all that people care about these days, is how much attention you get. But it's these guys Caleb First, he's going to leave Purdue because he's not getting... You ever think maybe he just wanted to play at Purdue? Maybe he didn't want to be, that was just his dream, was to play at Purdue. More and more, it's just with, I don't know what it is, with basketball. I just feel like it's so discombobulated. And the guys we get at IU, they don't want to be here. They don't understand it. And I understand. They don't want to be here because they don't understand it. Then, you know what? There's the fucking door right there. Let's get some guys in here that want to play for Indiana. I wouldn't even care. I mean, the teams Bob Knight had in the 90s, those teams did not go super far in the tournament, but they did. They were hard-nosed teams. They were hard-nosed players. We had great guards. We had even Michael Lewis. I mean, just guys that were... And we've had that recently, but it's we just don't get a good mix. We don't get enough of our IU guys. Trey Galloway, one guy I just really want to rag on. What a letdown. For this guy to come in as a freshman, I had such high expectations for him. Now somebody was telling me recently, and I don't know if this is 100% true, that he went to Carmel. He had a big-time attitude at Carmel. That's why he went to Culver Academy and played for his dad. I don't know if that's true or not. Comment down below if you know that he went to Carmel and had a big-time attitude problem there. But it seems like every guy on this IU team has an attitude problem. It's unbelievable. All right, I'm done ranting about this game. And, okay... So, Indiana, we got one game before the Purdue game. We got to beat Minnesota at home. And then if we could beat, and I got the feeling Galloway is going to play a big game in this Purdue game coming up. But that's not, nonetheless. You know what? You can't look ahead to games and be like, I'm going to play a good game in the game when everybody's watching, because he played a great game in the Kansas game. When everybody was watching, we lost that game anyway, but just tough to watch them lose at Rutgers, and definitely a game that is winnable. And I got to hand it to Rutgers, because with the guys they have and how they play, they were trying to play an ugly game, and they embrace an ugly style, and they beat the Hoosiers. So Rutgers, you're doing it there in Piscataway, just as the people in Indiana are, and maybe even a little bit better. So the Hoosiers, they got to pull their heads out of their asses, and Xavier Johnson needs to be benched, and other guards need to be given the opportunity to shoot and take control of this team, including Gabe Cupps, who I think has done a fantastic job so far, and I think Xavier Johnson should just take a seat or just hit the road, Jack, because you know what? I don't give a rat's ass if you come back and play for this team at all anymore. You know what? I've had it up to here with you. You've been here for 2 years, and it's perfectly obvious to me why they got you the hell out of Pittsburgh and sent you over here to Indiana. We got half the season left, so we got to watch this guy in a few more games. But in some way, if this team could develop over this next month, that is not going to happen with Xavier Johnson on the court with these players. So get him the hell out of there. Let Gabe Cupps sit in there. And this guy is a head case. I can't believe, but it's like you cannot win with a guy like this. A head case guy like this will take you out of virtually every game that you play in. But you punch the guy in the goddamn nuts, and I'm not going to let that go by. So, it is what it is. If a guy for another team did this to an IU player, there's been guys that did that on other teams, I'd be lividly pissed off, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. So Xavier Johnson, hit the road, Jack. I mean, hopefully you're suspended a few games so we don't have to watch you, but good riddance. I mean, it's already almost mid-January. It's January 9th, so you know what? We got about 45 days, and you'll be gone anyway, and we're not going to be in the tournament. So, but until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans. Try to stay positive, and we got a big game on Friday night. We got to take care of business against Minnesota at home, and then we got Purdue at home. But tell me what you think about Xavier Johnson. He's not going to get kicked off the team. I'm just way overreacting to this, but I am just sick of watching this guy. So tell me what you think about it in the comments down below. And who other guys will step up and take his spot? Gabe Cups, CJ Gunn has a nice looking shot. He needs to get some shots in. Let's get Xavier Johnson out of here and get this Hoosier team playing better, because they were coming along and they were playing better before Xavier Johnson came back. In these last couple games, he came back, and I am done with this guy. I'm done with him. That is Bush League. That is just straight up Bush League to hit somebody in the nuts like that. This is Indiana.